Remember, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Greg McKeown. My friends, each and every day, make your plan and work that plan. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes. I do this for free for you guys every single day, in addition to all the other things I do, my own trading, my own work. I find the time, and I have for over 10 years now, because this is important. Sharing this knowledge with you is what it's all about. And if I can make that time to put all this together, and it takes me a lot longer than 10 to 15 minutes, that's all I'm asking of you. 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, and you will learn this. Practice trade all you can. Watch the videos, read my book, and in fact, that's the first thing you get as a Patreon member, my book and Options Made Simple, The Charting Wealth Way. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are up along with Bitcoin. Gold and bonds are down. Let's jump into the S&P 500 first. I told you things might be digesting. I was thinking maybe we've hit the top, but nope, we haven't. In fact, the math has continued to tell us that things were, staying around that 70% probability. And of course, a nice backtest accuracy there too, to get all those facts and figures each and every day. They are emailed out at the end of the market day to our Patreon members. They're also posted on the Patreon page. So become a Patreon. Another reason to be a Patreon member, you get my 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan each and every day on the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, 20-year bonds, gold, and Bitcoin. Let's keep moving. What do we see here? Well, volume's been going down the last day and a half. You can see, today. It was a little lower this morning as it was yesterday afternoon, a little lower this afternoon than it was this morning. Nonetheless, price continued to move up. As we look at the latest 2-day candle, that represents Monday and Tuesday, didn't quite get up to average volume. This week, volume's nothing to write home about. But check out where we are. I was talking about not getting higher highs yet. We didn't on Monday, but we did on Tuesday. Look at that high. 642.85 last week, 637.65 week before, 639. So again, nice punching up to a higher high. That's beautiful. Good to see. We'll see how volume continues to go. Price is well above the weekly trend. Now, that's not much of a trend line, friends, but it is not quite flat, but regardless, it is above it on both the 2-day and the half-day and the weekly. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100, punching up even higher, 1.26, and of course the high 580.35 last week, 574.77 week before, 574.63. So a nice spike as things take off again. We look at the 2-day, again, like the S&P, just below average volume, and volume pumped up in the afternoon on the NASDAQ as things just continued to cycle up, nicely above the weekly trend line on both the half-day and the 2-day and the weekly. Things moving in the right direction, and according to our charts, the highest directional probability we have is the NASDAQ 100, and that is, of course, on an up move. The highest backtest accuracy is also on the NASDAQ 100, so keep an eye on things. Now, let's move on to 20-year U.S. government bonds. They're pulling back 0.50%. You can see we have a red spinning top, yes. On the 2-day chart, again, hadn't hit average volume now for 6 days on the 2-day. Decent average volume last week, a little higher the week before as things were moving up, but we definitely see things slowing down. We're a little bit more than a coin toss as far as our directional probability is on the bearish side. Backtest accuracy is not anything to write about, but it does look definitely like bonds are slowing down and starting to roll back over after 3 weeks of some up movement. We'll continue to keep an eye on things, but as you look at the half day, you can see where it punched through in the morning quite strongly through the weekly trend line on the half day and stayed below it in the afternoon. 2 days not done that yet. Green spinning top on the weekly, lots of weakness there. What about gold? Gold is just about flat. It is technically down 0.09%, but that's pretty darn flat. Sitting on the weekly trend line, which is basically a horizontal line, doesn't do too much for us. Like I was saying yesterday, it has the value of a dead core of a corpse. A corpse is a dead thing. Where do we see? We see it just sitting right there on it on the half day and on the 2-day and on the weekly. It's just weak. We have a directional probability, but it's just a coin toss. Not much to it. Waiting to see if gold's going to heat up or die so we can get some kind of trend for you, because we don't have one. What about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin has been in an up move. Our math, as we put the numbers to it, has continued to be mostly bullish on Bitcoin. Still are. Our directional probabilities, okay. You know, I like it when it's 85%. That's the kind of up move I like, or 85% down. We are better than a coin toss on Bitcoin. And of course, you can see how it has been heating up this week. Over the last 4 days on the 2-day chart, see where it really pumped up on Monday and hasn't hit that high again. But that's where the real up move happened. But again, for the day, up 0.56%. We'll continue to keep an eye on Bitcoin, see where it is going. When we look at the prior high, it was 34.55 going back to the week of July the 14th. That was 34.55 this week, 34.17. So we've not reached that high yet. After 2 weeks of spinning, well, dojis pretty much, it's nice to see it starting to move again, and we shall see. You can see how Bitcoin, moves up, settles out, can pop up again, and then just sort of pull off. So we'll keep an eye. We had it pop up, slide down again, and pop up, slide sideways. Maybe it's digested enough of that, getting ready to get some more legs. We shall keep an eye on things. Like I said, our directional probability is okay. Not the best in the world, but it's still decent, as is the back test accuracy. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.